series of beauty shots that you took. Take a look at these photos, by the way. Those are beauty photos. You say that your son always seemed different.
Yes, he has, Sally.
From what age?
My son, ever since my son was a small child, he's always never played with boys' toys at all. He's always played with dolls or did things that girls did. He's always acted real feminine. And I've encouraged him to be a boy. I have 2 macho other sons, one that was in the Marines. I also have another son that's 22 years old, and I have grandchildren, and I have daughter-in-laws.
Wait, you know what would occur to me? If you had 3 boys, it might occur to me that you wanted the 2 sons to be boys, and the third one you really wanted a daughter, therefore you dressed up your son to be a boy.
Sally, I never encouraged my child. This is what people don't understand, is I've never encouraged my child at all to dress up as a female. Leandre would come home from school at the age of 10, and he would just go in the bathroom, and he'd just take off the boys' clothes, and he'd be inside the bathroom fixing up all these hairstyles.
That brings me, what do people think? Where does Leandro go to school?
Presently, I've had to take him out of school because of the harassment caused ever since he's been in school for such a young age. I almost sued the school when he was about 10 years old. He's already seen 2 psychiatrists. Psychiatrist said he's got a gender problem. The last one said he's totally acts female and is female.
What did the psychiatrist tell you to do? So they tell you to school him at home so he isn't put into...
Well, they didn't tell me to homeschool him. I thought it would be better because he's very sad and distraught in school and the constant harassment by the other pupils.
What do they tell you to do about, when they say it's a gender dysfunction, what do they tell you to do about it?
Well, what they told me is that, the first one I took him to told me that he's very lucky that he has a mother like me who accepts him the way he is.
Let's bring Leander out now and see what she has to say. Leander, come on now. Leander, you say that a lot of kids have been very cruel to you. When you were in school, what did they say to you?
They used to go, like, there goes that cross-dresser. They used to go, like, call me faggot in school.
At what age? Now, Christine, you told us when you saw Judy on the show, you got angry at her or at us? At who? Why?
Well, Sally, at a very young age, Judy, you could see your child, the growth in your child. And you couldn't possibly tell me that you live with a child day after day, night, month after month, year after year, and you can't see that your child might be gay or show some type of difference in themselves?
Well, I never said that I never saw, first of all, that there wasn't a problem. My situation with my son is that he is a boy in every sense, from head to toe. This is a boy. Now, my opinion is such that at his age, even though when he was 3 and he enjoyed my dresses, at the age of 6, he put on my heels, my skirts. The age he is now, he still wants to do it. He is a boy, period. My opinion is such that he's too young to say, I'm going to be a girl and make this decision at this age, at this stage of his life.
You can't say this.
Yes.
My child has been doing this for years, and he is totally accepted through his grandmother, his brothers. This is what we love. This is an unconditional love of who they are. They choose to be this way. They choose, this is who they are. If you can't, I understood that you spent lots of money sending your child to $30,000, $40,000 worth of psychiatry.
What did the psychiatrist say? Good
Yes.
question. What?
My son is truly what they call gender dysphoric.
Right. Now, what do they tell you to do about some? I asked her, and she said accept it. But what did the psychiatrist tell you to do with somebody who's gender dysphoric?
To find a way to understand, to meet it head on. I'm not hiding him in a closet. I'm not going to do it. When he is older, if he truly, in his heart of hearts, believes he is meant to be a girl, then by God, I'll stand behind him. But until he has no question,
what you should have done
I can
is,
ask him.
Judy, what you should have done is taken that $30,000 or $40,000, gotten a little bit more love and understanding, and seen a psychiatrist yourself,
my mother
and then
gives me
tried to
plenty enough love and understanding.
who your
Don't
child
you
was.
even go there,
Who
honey.
your child was.
Don't you even go there.
Yeah. Well, you can sit there and say what you like.
You know,
Leandre.
my
But
mother
we
gives me
understand.
plenty of love and understanding.
Let's ask-
If your son feels
Well, why
better
are you
as
so sad? Why
I'm
are
not
you out there
sad. Honey, let me tell you something, okay? I got more, honey, I have got more friends now since the show has aired because I've come out and I came honest about it than I have in
2-year-old son, Jay, was secretly living as a girl. Jay, who goes by the name Ivy, is waiting backstage and says she's very hurt that her mother, Susan, is having trouble accepting her as a female, and we'll find out why she'd be hurt if she didn't talk about it in just a moment. Susan, you found out that your son was living as a girl in an unbelievable way. What happened?
Well, he needed a job, so he went to the place that I work and applied for a job. But when he went to apply for the job, he went as a woman.
Okay, now you had no idea while he was growing up that he was dressing this way or that he felt this way?
Not the woman part. I kind of suspected that he was gay.
You just thought he was gay. You did not think he had any interest in wearing women's clothes. Did he have a girlfriend in high school?
He had a girlfriend when he was like 15. In fact, she lived with us.
She lived with you?
She lived with us.
Okay, so it's been hard for you to watch your son. This happened 6 months ago?
About 6 months ago.
Does he still live
yes.
with you?
No, he doesn't live with me.
No. Okay, now you say he's been growing breasts, and it's hard for you to watch that. You're a nurse?
Yes.
Okay. If your son is growing breasts, then he is taking some kind of hormone treatment.
Right.
He has to be. You as a nurse would know that,
Right.
right? So why is this difficult to internalize?
I don't know. I guess
It's just too hard, right?
it's just,
Has your son asked you to call him Ivy?
I don't remember him ever actually asking me to call him Ivy, but I
Can
find
you?
it no.
You can't do it.
I mean, after 22 years of being Jay,
Yes, I understand.
it's a hard habit
I don't think
to
anybody
break.
would disagree with that. If you've spent 22 years calling somebody by a certain name and they change their name, it's not that difficult, but I guess. Now, you blame yourself for this. These mothers and their children have talked. They have talked from day one.
Yes.
That's the thing you have in common. Why do you feel you're responsible for this?
I don't as much right now. I did when he first told me. I felt like I had done something or I hadn't done something that I should have done. But we talked a little bit, and he said, no, it's nothing that you did or didn't do, or
Would you like to have known about it when Ivy was as young as 13? You don't know.
I'm not sure.
Okay, that's fair enough. What scares you the most about this? Who has been pretending to be a boy since she was 13 and has fooled a lot of young women along the way. Shelley, come on out. Sitting next to her is Susan. We met her on an earlier show where she revealed she too had been fooled by a young man who was really a girl. Incredible story. A lot of betrayal and deception, and we're going to hear from her in a minute. Shelley, first I want to talk to you. You say you are not gay. You have been pretending to be a boy since you were 13. In fact, the reason you're here today is because we received a call from a young woman who says you fooled her and had a devastating effect on her. Help me to understand why and how you pretend to be a boy.
I didn't pretend, or I just go around every day like my normal self like this, and they assume I'm a boy. They never ask. They're the first ones that approach me, and I just go along with it because I have feelings for girls, and I'm afraid if I tell them, then they won't like me and they'll back away from me. Right. But once I get involved with them, I tell them we don't do anything sexually or anything. I tell them, and I end up hurting them, and that's when I push them away, kind of.
You tell them when?
Whenever we're like, I'm comfortable with them. Whenever they
then
can
you
talk to me.
tell them that you're really a girl.
Yeah.
And their reaction is what to you?
Well, some stay with me, and some just don't understand because what other people tell them and put in their heads, and they just go on. And I don't even talk to them anymore.
Okay, so you live life as a guy.
Yeah.
Then something really very unusual happened to you. Can you tell us what happened to you?
Well, it was my 18th birthday, and I went out, drank with my friends, and was out with two of my guy friends. One I never even knew. Well, actually, one guy friend that I knew, and two of my girlfriends, friends that were girls. We went out to a bar, and then we went to a park or whatever, and then we ended up at a hotel because two of my friends, one guy was dating my friend, and we were all drunk, high, whatever, and then I fell asleep, and a guy took advantage of me and became pregnant. So
what happened with your pregnancy since you
I
generally...
had my daughter named Shelby. She's the best thing that ever happened to me.
What?
I always thought that maybe I wanted to check, you know, like Crocodile Dundee. Hey, you know, let's see.
Uh-huh. Is that because of the betrayal that you failed at Conrad?
Yes.
Okay. Do you think it's left you with questions of self-doubt?
Oh, I know that it has.
It has. So you say that being with Conrad has left you for your whole life confused and self-doubt.
Well, considering that I've stayed in denial for 13 years of saying, no, that wasn't a woman, and making myself believe that it was a man, and not wanting to believe that another woman had touched me, yeah.
Okay. How does it feel sitting next to the people who are pretending to live as the opposite sex? In case of Shelley.
Not real well. It makes me very uneasy. It hurts me.
Are you a mother comparatively easier?
I don't think this is a very easy kind of thing.
No matter what.
No matter what. The question about deception comes to mind here. Because here is a woman who feels as though she was deceived, and many years later, she feels as though she's still suffering from the deception. The question of deception for your young daughter, what do you tell her? What do you see, now I'm very concerned over this young child.
The child is going to see people thinking that the mother is the father.
Yes. Now
they're going to ask you.
Let's find out how you have handled it so far.
Well, me.
How old is your child?
2. She just turned 2.
Okay.
She knows I'm her mother. I've been there for her. It's just me and her living at home. There's no one else.
But when she goes to kindergarten and they come and they say, "Don't you have a mother?" What is she going to say?
I'll just explain to her as much as I can. If she even asks, I'm not going to go to her school and put a front on that I am a guy. I mean, I'm there for her, and I'll give her all the support she needs.
You don't feel your child will be confused?
I do in a way, but I don't, because I'm not telling her friends, or I'm not going to be with her and say, yeah, I'm her father or whatever.
You see, this is the issue. You can be wonderful with your child. Leandra's mother